Hi, welcome to our newest channel. It actually isn't also new. You'll see when the intro comes in, I'm still figuring it all out, what intro I'm gonna have and all this other good stuff. But one thing's for sure, we're back, baby. Stay tuned. So welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Ingrid, and I decided to, I had a second channel, which was all faith-based. I was doing Bible studies online and, but life continues to happen. And so I still have the Ingrid Chronicles where I finally found, a niche for that channel. And so I didn't want to keep flip-flopping on the niche. I'm comfortable with sharing my cooking recipes along with my cozy mystery reviews, the books that I read, and just pairing them with either recipes that I find in the book or create my own. And so I don't want to stray away from that. There was, I could have uploaded 2 or 3 times out of the week. But I decided that, you know what, I can still upload 2 or 3 times out of the week, but just do them from different channels so that it doesn't affect what I'm currently doing over on the Ingrid Chronicles. And so what I did was that I took the Proverbial Mama, which was a faith-based channel. And so I decided to integrate that channel with this one, which is now called Beyond Measure, where I will vlog and I will share all about motherhood, home, faith, lifestyle, and drum roll, please. Yes, I am back to homeschooling. As you all know, I had originally announced over on the Ingrid Chronicles that back in August, we enrolled Mia into a private Christian school, which is a lovely school. We really did appreciate the time there. But for those of you who are homeschoolers, remember the first time that, especially for those homeschoolers who had their kids in the public school system or a private school system, and then you decided that you were going to homeschool, and so you made that transition. It was rocky from the start, right? It was a lot of getting used to, a lot of stretching, a lot of culture shock, a lot of just acclimating yourself into becoming a homeschooling parent. Those frustrating days and nights where you were just trying to figure all things out and you were doubting yourself, and it was just, you really had to ease your way in. For some, it was just a good glove fit from the beginning. Others really had to find their way throughout their homeschooling journey. And so when we decided to do that with Mia, we pulled her out of a public school system in the 2nd grade and decided to homeschool her. And I have been homeschooling her since the 2nd grade up until, I will say, about the beginning of 8th grade. And then and maybe I'm just all over the place with the story, but I really need you to understand my reasoning, mine and my husband's reasoning for, first of all, putting Mia back into a private school system, not a public school system, but still putting her back into a school outside the home. And so when we moved to the new home where we are now, the pandemic was starting to, it was still in full effect because, as you know, the pandemic hit like in 2020 and all of 2021. And so when we moved up here in 2021, we were still under current lockdown. I was still working fully remote from home. So it was easier for me to continue to balance work life and be able to homeschool Mia. So 7th grade was just amazing. We were able to get through it. However, when 2022 came, the pandemic was still strong, but a lot of workplaces were now having flex schedules or requiring for the employees to return back to the office. And although I still had the flexibility, there was still a big chunk out of the week that I was expected to work out of the office. So for 2022, it was so hard for me. I was also enrolled in school, earning a doctorate. I still am, but I'm just giving you the backdrop of all of this and how it led up to from going into homeschool, from going into private school back to homeschooling. Okay. And so 2020 was such a 2022, I'm sorry, 2022 was it was a very productive, very demanding, very exhausting, very tiring year. It started off where I had to go back. And so I started to homeschool for 8th grade, but I wasn't consistent with it because I'm like, okay, whatever I can do now, I'll catch up on the weekend. The weekend would come and it was do a little bit here, there. So learning gaps started to form because that's what happens, right? So when I started to see this early on, January, February, March, it started to like, okay, no, this is too much time without instruction. So we need to enroll her. I told my husband, we really need to pray on this. We really need to find a school where we can enroll her so that she doesn't lose any time from, her education. It's important. So we started looking for schools. So in March, we reached out to the private school where she was attending. And so they were very gracious with us. We did a tour and we fell in love with the school. Okay. So we enrolled her into the school and she was going to start in that fall of 2022. And so because I knew she was going to start in the fall of 2022 and they were aware of the skipping of the 8th grade kind of, because I'm like, listen, I really didn't have a chance to fully homeschool for 8th grade. They were willing to work with me to fill in those gaps, to get her caught up. So I was doing some homeschooling, but not to the level where I was doing it before, where it was just we're focused on this homeschool. And I think because I knew she was going to start school, I said, you know what, we'll just do a little bit at a time. But time did fly by in 2022. When you open your eyes, boom, you're back. Like, it's like you couldn't even believe that now we're in 2023. So fast forward, I believe she started in the first week of September. We enrolled her in school, and it was a lot of fun in the beginning because it's like, okay, you're doing something new, you're meeting new friends. And then the schedule was just so crucial because and it's not about waking up early, and it does have to do with that. But what I'm talking about is that in the school system, it's different from when you're homeschooling. Even if it's a private school, your child has to do the work that they're assigned. They no longer have that work at your pace that is so freely given as homeschoolers, right? And so here she is. She was doing well in all the other subjects. She was struggling most in math because, of course, we already know, and that was established when I was journaling my homeschool then, that math would always be a challenge for Mia because it was a subject that she really did not like, and she was also not liking science. So those two areas she was struggling with. All the others she was flourishing and doing well. She was up to date. She fairly started to catch up quickly on Algebra 1 with me working with her at home and then going to school. She started doing the sports and they were a lot of fun, but the schedule was taxing because she was also bused in the morning. So she had to get up 3 hours before school starts to ride in 2 hours to get to school. Excuse me. It took her because I would drop her off at the bus stop at 6:30 and she wouldn't get to school until like 8:10. So she had all that time that she lost sleep. She had to get up early because she had to make the bus. So then I can make work on time so that I'm able to come out on time to pick her up after school. So she's at the bus for 2 hours, goes to school, has to do all of the instructions. Now, because this school is an accelerated school, all of the core subjects were 80 minutes long. So she was taking double courses. She was taking double the work for each course, because in half the year, like let's say if they will start with algebra 1, once the first semester is over, she's done with algebra. Now she can move on to geometry. So she had to do all of the work, keep up with all of the work, and then stay on top of her sports schedule. Now, the scheduling for sports, it was mandatory. You know, it was something that Mia, Felix, and I discussed prior to putting her into the school, is that you have to play the sports, because that is the only way that I can get to you on time to pick you up early, because I can't leave early enough to come pick you up, because I work an hour and a half away from her. And then Felix's job, he doesn't have a set time. He doesn't have a 9 to 5. He starts at a certain time and then he's off whenever he's done with his, you know, with his route. So, you know, it was challenging. The scheduling was challenging for her. The child was exhausted. She's transitioning from homeschool into high school, where she's expected to follow their lead. She can't work at her own pace. If she doesn't know something or feels like she needs extra help, now she doesn't have that one-on-one. So she's starting to feel all of this pressure. So she began to ask Felix and I sometime in November, can I be homeschooled? So she started entertaining that idea. And we were like, no, we were adamant. We were like, we made this commitment and we want you to stick it through. And the only reason that we did that was because school started in September, November, and this was like before the Thanksgiving break. We felt like you're not giving it a chance. Yes, it's a lot of hard work, but life is going to be a lot of hard work. You know, once she's done with high school, whether homeschooling or in a public or private school, you still have to go out into the world. You still have to work. We all have schedules. And for those parents who work, you know what I'm talking about. We have to get up early. We have to go to work. We have to be around people and personalities that we may not really mesh well with. We have to do work that we may not be happy, but we have to do it because bills have to get paid. And so I thought that this experience would be good for her to open up her eyes that, you know, sometimes you just have to stick it through. So I'm like, you know, just give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. So then she was fine. And then she still kept going. I want to be homeschooled. I want to be homeschooled. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. And so she was coming home in tears a lot, because she's like, you know, she couldn't catch a breath, because once she gets home after a long day of practice or after a long game, sometimes we will get home 7:30, 8 o'clock. You can't rest. Now you have to do your homework, because, you know, the school is like, you're playing sports, but you're responsible to doing the work and the homework and all this other stuff. And so she just felt like a fish out of water. I felt like she was drowning. She was suffocated. My happy baby was now very stressed out, moody, irritated, and just didn't want to be there until the weekend came. And then she would know, you know, she would be happy and say, so, you know, Felix and I started sitting down and we're like, okay, maybe we need to rethink, you know, if this was the best thing for us to do for her. So, you know, we put through prayer, you know, I wanted her to have the high school experience. I wanted her to, excuse me. I wanted her to have the high school experience. I wanted her to be able to make long-lasting relationships with new friends in the new area that we're in. I wanted her to experience, you know, the high school life. But at the end of the day, like I've stated before in all of my other homeschooling videos, that you have to listen to your child and you have to allow them to voice and express themselves, you know, in a respectful manner, and be able to articulate what they're going through and to be able to give a reason for the choices that they make. And so I heard her out, and Felix and I were like, you know what, then if this is what you want, we're going to support you. She didn't say she didn't want to stop going to school. She just said, I don't want to go to that school. And so she's like, you know, Mom, I think that you're capable of homeschooling me. I was doing well. So now I have to, you know, I have to now fill in those gaps as well, because the school was helping me out a lot. But now that's all going to fall back on me, which is fine. I don't see it as a burden. I just have to fix whatever I need to be fixing. And mind you, in 2022, I also dropped my classes in the fall because I felt like I was also overwhelmed, because I'm paying the school a lot of money, but I'm still teaching and homeschooling at home. So it's like I'm still homeschooling and I'm still having that same schedule as if when when I was working and I had to do it. So I'm like, I was also getting frustrated and aggravated. And so we decided to do that. And so, yeah, this is what this channel is going to be about. I'm sorry that I'm so long-winded. I guess I'm tired today. But I wanted to come on and I wanted to share why we decided to do that. And so moving forward, I am going to share those, those types of videos with you all. For families who are thinking about homeschooling, I'm going to share with you all of the laws according to the state where I live in, which is the state of New Jersey. I'm going to share with you transitioning from pulling your child out from a public school or private school to homeschooling them for the first time. Or if you did what I did, pulled them out, homeschooled, then homeschooled for years and decided to put them back into the school system, that transition, how it can be successful and how to know when it's not a good fit for you. So all of those types of videos and content is going to come out there on top of motherhood, tips. I will share with you the curricula that I would use for homeschool, how I'm using it, why I chose to use it, how to keep records, how to put together a transcript, how to get ready for college, career development. All of those things for parents out there who will find that useful. And this is all going to be free. I'm not going to charge any type of servicing fee or anything like that. And so I'm going to share that so that it can help another family who may be in the same situation where Felix, Mia, and I were in and are in, and how we can rise above it and learn how to roll with the punches. I will share with you the experiences, the withdrawal process, the exit interview, how that made us feel, how we answer those questions, and how we even had to stand and defend our reasoning for homeschooling, even when it's coming from another homeschooler themselves that are working as administration in a private school. So I'm going to be transparent like I always am. I'm going to share with you all of those things. I hope that you will follow me in this journey. I hope that you will subscribe and that you will comment. Unfortunately, I cannot do lives in this channel until I reach 1,000 subscribers, unlike where I could do so over at the Ingrid Chronicles. But I really want to keep that channel separate from homeschooling and motherhood and the things that have to do with the home and the vlogging and things like that. I just want to keep that all about cooking and the book reviews. And so this is why I decided to do this. I also created an Instagram page for this specific channel for you guys to follow so that I can also put updates, books we're reading, lessons, activities that we're doing. And so I am back as a homeschooling mom. I am back as somewhat of a homeschool channel here. It's going to be a temporary thing because, she's in 9th grade. So I would say for the next 3 years, at least, I will be able to share the homeschooling experience and see how that goes. I will also share from a mother perspective, from a motherhood, right? What if you are a homeschooling mom and now you're also becoming a somewhat empty nester? You have your last child and now you're trying to find yourself after being a homeschooling mom, and what the next steps are. Is it too late to go back to school? And if you are in school, some study tips and things like that for you to be able to manage your studies as well as manage your home and your homeschool. So I hope that you will follow me. I am happy to be back. I am so glad to be here. And I look forward to sharing more with you all as the weeks, months, and year comes. I'm still trying to figure out this whole scheduling. So just stick around and you will catch new videos on Mondays. I don't know if I'm going to do every Monday or every other Monday or the first and third Monday. I don't know, but it's going to be on Monday. You will see. Make sure you put your notifications. The notification bell, hit that so that you can be alerted to whenever I do upload a video. But this channel will post on Mondays, and then the Ingrid Chronicles will continue to stay on Fridays. And it's not going to be hard for me to manage both channels, because it's just like if I would just film a video, two or three videos, and upload it two or three videos during the week. So instead of doing it on one channel, I'm just doing it on two separate channels. But I need your help to get those subs up and help me to reach that 1K so that I am able to do lives, because I love doing lives and I can get to interact with you. So until next time, thank you so much. Next week I will share a video talking, and I know I'm already late in the game, but it will focus on my new year, my New Year's, my goals for the new year, my theme, and then we'll take it from there. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you on Mondays here. And don't forget to subscribe to the Ingrid Chronicles if you haven't yet, and check out what I'm going to be cooking this Friday. You're going to get Death by Eggnog and my review on that, and my coquito recipe and all of that good stuff. And so I want to make sure that you watch that. And I'll check you out, guys. I will see you. And yes, all of you mamas that we were connecting back then when I was doing homeschool, I'm back. Let's talk. We can collaborate. We can come together and just do something fun. Now I'm in the high school years, guys, so this is amazing. So talk to you soon. Bye.